At dawn in ancient Greece, the cities were already at war. They just didn't know it yet. For years, treaties still stood, ambassadors still traveled, festivals were still held. But the decisions that mattered had already been made. This channel tells stories about moments like that. Moments when history doesn't turn on speeches or heroes, but on pressure, systems, and choices made long before anyone realizes the outcome is inevitable. The Peloponnesian War is usually described as a clash between Athens and Sparta, democracy versus discipline, sea power versus land power. But this isn't really a story about why they fought. It's a story about why peace could no longer survive. Because by the time the first spear was thrown, the war was already decided, not by anger but by structure. To understand why, you have to step back, far back enough to see the patterns forming. After the Persian Wars, Greece didn't celebrate unity for long. The external threat had vanished, but the systems built to fight it remained. Athens emerged from those wars with something new in Greek history, an empire that floated. Its power didn't rest on farmland or walls alone, but on ships, tribute, and constant movement. The Delian League, formed to defend against Persia, slowly transformed into an Athenian-controlled network. Cities paid not for protection, but for permission to remain autonomous. Athens told itself a story, that it was protecting Greece, that its leadership was necessary, that the tribute was fair. But systems don't care about stories. They care about incentives. Athens' economy became dependent on tribute. Its navy required constant funding. Its political culture rewarded expansion and punished restraint. Meanwhile, Sparta remained something else entirely. A land power, a society built on discipline, hierarchy, and fear of internal collapse. Sparta didn't seek empire, it feared change. Its social system depended on control over a large enslaved population. The headlines. Every military decision was also a domestic one. Risk abroad could mean rebellion at home. For decades, Athens expanded while Sparta watched uneasily, silently. This balance wasn't stable. It only appeared so. Thucydides, the historian who lived through the war, identified the real cause with unsettling clarity, the growth of Athenian power and the fear this inspired in Sparta. Not hatred, not ideology fear, but fear alone doesn't start wars. It needs triggers. The Greek world was full of smaller conflicts, alliances and rivalries, each one a stress fracture. Corcyra and Corinth, Potidaea, Megara. Each dispute seemed manageable on its own. Each decision made sense in isolation. Athens supported Corcyra's navy, not to provoke Sparta but to deny Corinth. It punished Megara with economic sanctions, not to escalate, but to assert authority. It tightened control over rebellious allies, not to dominate, but to maintain order. At every step, Athens chose what seemed reasonable. So did Sparta. That's what makes the Peloponnesian War so unsettling. No single decision looks insane. Together, they remove all exits. Sparta faced a dilemma. If it acted too soon, it risked war before it was ready. If it waited too long, Athens would become untouchable. Restraint looked like weakness. Action looked like catastrophe. In 431 BCE, Sparta chose action. The war didn't begin with a dramatic invasion. It began with procedure, declarations, alliances activated, strategies prepared. Athens didn't rush to meet Sparta on land. Pericles, its leading statesman, understood the system better than anyone. Athens couldn't beat Sparta in a traditional battle. It didn't need to. Pericles' strategy was cold and patient. Avoid land engagements, withdraw behind the walls. Let the navy raid the Peloponnese. Let time and money do the work. It was a strategy built on endurance, not glory. The cost was psychological. Athenians watched their farms burn. They crowded into the city, trusting walls instead of courage. Then came the plague. No plan survives reality unchanged. Disease swept through Athens, killing thousands, including Pericles himself. The system lost its stabilizer. Without Pericles, Athens became more volatile. Leadership fragmented, public opinion grew impatient. The war dragged on. Neither side could land a decisive blow. Sparta ravaged land it couldn't hold. Athens raided coasts it couldn't occupy. This wasn't heroic warfare, it was attrition. Both sides struggled to adapt. Both made mistakes. Athens' greatest strength, its democracy, became a vulnerability. Leaders competed for approval. Caution lost elections. Boldness won applause. This shift didn't immediately destroy Athens, it made it unpredictable. Then came the temptation of Sicily. Sicily was far away, rich, divided. The idea of conquering it promised everything Athens wanted: resources, prestige, strategic dominance. But it violated Pericles' logic. It extended the system beyond its limits. The debate was fierce. Some warned of overreach. Others saw hesitation as decline. Athens chose ambition. The Sicilian expedition was enormous. Ships, men, money sent farther than any Athenian force before. At first it seemed possible. Then it unraveled. Commanders hesitated. Opportunities passed. Enemies adapted. Sparta, advised by Alcibiades, a disgraced Athenian, intervened. They sent help. They fortified. They waited. Athens became trapped. The final disaster was total. The fleet destroyed. The army captured or killed. It wasn't just a military defeat. It was a systemic shock. Athens lost resources it couldn't replace. Confidence shattered. Allies reconsidered loyalty. Sparta, once cautious, now saw a path to victory. The war changed character. Persia re-entered Greek affairs, funding Sparta's navy. The old enemy returned quietly, pragmatically. Athens fought on, but the system had shifted. Blockades tightened, food grew scarce, political unity fractured. Even then, Athens didn't collapse immediately. It adapted, it resisted, but endurance without renewal only delays the end. In 404 BCE, Athens surrendered. Its walls were torn down, its empire dismantled, its fleet reduced. Sparta won the war, but victory didn't bring stability. Sparta lacked the administrative systems to manage an empire. Its rigid society struggled with dominance. Within decades, Sparta would fall from power. Greece would remain divided, exposed. The Peloponnesian War didn't create Macedon's rise, but it made it possible. It drained resources, it exhausted trust, it broke the illusion of unity. This war didn't end Greek civilization. It ended its momentum. The lesson is not that democracy failed or discipline prevailed. Both systems worked until they met their limits. The Peloponnesian War shows how rational decisions can produce irrational outcomes, how power creates fear, how fear removes choices, and how history often ends not with a single mistake, but with the slow closing of every alternative. If you want more stories like this about decisions, systems, and the quiet forces that shape history, consider subscribing. And tell me in the comments, which moment should we explore next?